Hello, and I'd like to introduce you to a new motor that I'll be working on. This is a 1959 Evinrude 5.5 horsepower. The model number is 5518. And this motor is pretty special for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's the direct cousin to the CD14, which is right behind me. So this was made in almost the same year. The CD14 was made in 1958 and this Evinrude in 1959. So being made in practically the same time by the same parent company, OMC, what that means is that the mechanical interior, the power head, lower body, magneto, everything is almost exactly the same between these two motors. The only difference is the exterior cover and the paint and some styling differences. Another really special property of this motor is that it is a 50th anniversary edition. So as you can see, there's an emblem on the cover which says Golden Jubilee. And the significance of this emblem signifies the 50th anniversary of when Mr. Evinrude first invented the first outboard motor. So this is a pretty special Evinrude edition motor, and we'll take it apart, take off the cover, and try to see whether or not this motor is working. When I got it, it was not working, so I'd like to be able to restore it back to life and also see whether we can use some of its parts or learn from it to get this CD14 working as well. So let's take a look at how it does on the pop test. Okay, with the covers off, you can see that it looks quite similar to the CD14. One difference that I noticed was that the filter bolt on the carburetor is located here on the side instead of below the carburetor. This is probably likely due to the limited amount of space with the flat cover versus the way that it's set up on the Johnson CD14. But otherwise, it looks very similar, the magneto, the hand starter, as well as other features. However, I noticed two issues just trying to test out the motor and the different mechanisms. One is that the hand starter is not working. So when you pull it, it doesn't recoil well. And also when you pull it, it doesn't turn the flywheel as crisp as I like. The second issue is that the shift lever is stuck in the neutral position. It takes a very high amount of force to shift it into reverse, but when I really try to push it, I was able to put it into reverse and then put it back into neutral. But no matter how hard I pushed on it, I couldn't get it to shift into forward gear. So I think this is an issue that we'll need to figure out as well. Alternatively, I could try to put the hand starter from the CD onto the Evinrude to see if it's compatible. Considering they're direct cousins of each other, I'm hoping that it would be, but let's take a look and try. With the hand starter off, I can at least test for spark and compression with a drill, and it looks like it's generating great spark. All right, I was able to get compression on the top cylinder, but not the bottom because the cover was in the way. I don't know if this is a design oversight or something, but there's very little room to work with on the bottom spark plug. So we'll see, maybe later when we take off the bottom cover, we'll test the compression on the bottom cylinder. But for now, I've swapped in the hand starter from the CD14 and it fits like a charm. So let's see if this will pop. Nope. No pop. Okay, the motor didn't pop, but I don't think all is lost. Given that both the CD14 and this one did not pop, but showed some signs of life. For example, on this one, even afterwards, I did see some smoke coming out of the bottom as well. At the end of the day, I'd like to get one of these two motors running. And I think since everything except for the power head seems to be working well on the CD14, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and disassemble completely this Evinrude, because eventually we're gonna have to fix the shift lever and the throttle, which is stuck as well as the lower unit. So let's go ahead and completely disassemble this motor. And in the meantime, we can swap the power head from this one to the CD14 after we test the compression on the bottom cylinder. If the compression looks good, then I like to swap it onto the CD14, because with the CD14, even with a new front of the power head, the compressions were off by too much. It was still 60 and 40. So I want to test if this power head on the CD14 will get that motor to work. So this will probably take some time, but I think in the end, hopefully the results will be worth the effort. Stay tuned for the next episode.